Hello folks, this is Jeff Phillips with SmokingMeat.com. Today we are making smoked sloppy joes. I have some ground sirloin here we're going to be throwing on the smoker and browning that, cooking that in the smoker, and then we'll mix that together with everything else. And I'm going to show you my homemade recipe. We're not going to be using the mix. And I'm real excited to get into this, so let's get after it. So I've placed the ground sirloin in my 12-inch iron skillet here. I'm just going to kind of press it out a little bit here with my hands. Sometimes I just chop it up. It just kind of depends on how you want to do it. I'm just trying to spread it out a little bit. I want to get maximum smoke exposure once I put this in the smoker. And then as it cooks in the smoker, we can stir it a little, turn it over, chop it. So that's pretty good right there. We're going to put this in the smoker, and it'll probably take 45 minutes to an hour at 225 degrees. All right, let's get this out to the smoker. I'm using the Rectech today, and we've already got it going. So, got lots of smoke coming out. Now I've got it set right now to low, which is 180. I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to 225, and I'm thinking that'll take 45 minutes to an hour for that to get done. And I'll probably be coming back out here and stirring that around a little bit, and I'll show you some of that. A little extra. Make sure that butter is spread out everywhere. I'm just making sure the seasoning is mixed all in, and then we're going to let that cook for a couple of minutes before we mess with them again. Let's go check the meat outside. So I'm just going to break this up a little bit because I'm trying to get smoke to all of it. It's looking really good. This is 90-10 ground sirloin, so we're not going to have a lot of grease. This is exactly what I want. Okay, let that cook a little more. I'm letting this cook on medium-high heat, and I'm letting it sit. I'm letting it cook for about 2 minutes between stirs, and that's going to get us some nice blackening on the bottom of some of these vegetables. I'm also looking to get these really soft and wimpy. If you like your vegetables cooked a little smaller or cut up a little smaller, you can definitely do that. I'm actually going to add a little more of the Texas rub to this. I can just tell by the color that I didn't get quite enough. See how it's starting to stick to the pan? That's what you want. Alright, these are looking really good. So, I put out a written recipe the other day on the website about smoked sloppy joes, and they just didn't have quite enough smoke for me, smoke flavor. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to actually go set this in the smoker with the meat and see if I can get some smoke flavor on the vegetables as well. we'll slide that over, put that there. And I need to move this around a little bit anyway. This meat's looking really, really good. The main thing I'm looking for on the meat is that it's cooked thoroughly, browned, and it's getting plenty of smoke. It's getting really close, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it in here a few more minutes. Let's leave that in the smoker for a little bit, and we'll come back and show it to you in a few minutes. All right, let's check this stuff. Now I normally use yellow onions in my sloppy joes, but I just happen to have a red onion today, so that's what we used. Now let's see how our meat is doing. As you can see, very little grease, and so I won't even need to drain that. I like to leave a little bit of the grease in there. What little bit is there. And you can definitely use a fattier ground beef if you want to, but you will want to drain most of the grease if you do that. This would work just fine with ground turkey, ground bison, any other type of lean meat. Just making sure it's chopped up really good, because that's what you want with sloppy joes. I think I'm going to go ahead and transfer my vegetables over while I'm out here. So I'll go ahead and bring this in the house, and I'll go ahead and turn off the rectangle. Now, once you're ready to combine everything in with the meat, you want that on a low setting. I think I have enough in this bottle. I'm going to add about 1 cup. That's about a half a cup. Another half a cup. That's my Jeff's Original barbecue sauce. And this barbecue sauce just happens to have several of the ingredients that we'd want to use in our sloppy joes, such as ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, pepper, garlic, a few things like that. So it works really well. Now this is some condensed tomato soup. I use about a half a can of that. And this has some tomatoes in it. So we'll try that for starters. I'm also going to put about a tablespoon of just regular yellow mustard. I'm also going to add some chili powder along with some salt and pepper. I use about 1.5 teaspoons, which is about half of a tablespoon. And you don't have to be real precise with that. Add your salt and pepper, and then we're going to obviously taste it. And if you feel like it needs a little more, you can always add it. Just some extra salt. That was about half a teaspoon, and a full teaspoon of pepper. And we're going to stir this all around. And this is where the magic happens. We're just making sure to get this mixed really well. All those flavors need to be well combined. And once that happens, we'll let it simmer till it gets to the right consistency. We're just going to let that sit there for a little bit and get happy. And we'll give it another stir here in about 5 or 6 minutes. We're starting to look really good here. It's been cooking probably about 15 minutes and just on a low simmer. I want it to be wet but not real soupy. I want to be able to drag my spoon through it and it kind of stays in place for a little bit before it comes back together. And we're seeing that. We've tasted it. It's got the right amount of salt and pepper, and you'll have to do that at home. Everybody has a different salt, pepper tolerance, so you can definitely add more or less salt and pepper if that's what you want to do. You can add more chili powder. You can add some pepper flakes to it if you want to add some heat. Make it your own. We're getting ready to toast up some buns, make us a sandwich. Next up, just butter up your buns. I got the jumbos. You can use the smaller ones. Use plenty of butter. Now you can also use mayonnaise with this. I may have mentioned that in the recipe the other day. Some people like to use mayonnaise. It's got egg and oil in it, so it works really well. Butter is my favorite, but mayonnaise is a close second. Now you can toast these things on a griddle or whatever you have, kind of a medium high for our toasting. Now I want to turn this down a little bit to a more medium. That's what I like to see right there. That's perfect. Let's move that more to the middle. That's perfect. Look at that. Now let's get our other two on there. Obviously, we've got a hot side over there. We got a little hot spot right here going on. Alright, there's our buns. These are the tops, these are the bottoms. Let's turn these around so we'll keep those straight. Alright, everything's finished. We've toasted our buns. The smoked sloppy joes are ready. And we're going to make a sandwich or two here. That's about how I like it. I'll make my camera guy here one. That'll work, and we'll leave that right there. And we're just going to kind of top those off. Now you can add cheese to this if you like it, pickles, whatever. I usually eat mine just straight sloppy joes on the bun, but so we're gonna. This is probably really hot. I'm gonna give this a try. That is so good. Wow. That is so good, so easy. Something you can do at your home in your own smoker in just about an hour and a half. And the really cool thing about this recipe is that a lot of the vegetable prep and stuff like that you can be doing while the ground meat is smoking, and that just makes it an even quicker meal. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today as I cooked up the smoked sloppy joes on the Recteq smoker, and I did a lot of the other prep here in the house on the stovetop. Once again, this is Jeff Phillips with SmokingMeat.com, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.